Hi YouTube, this is Naija and welcome to our channel. Thank you for all the ones that decided to, click on this video today. Usually Cliff Mega's with me. Today he isn't. Well, this video is all about does consciousness reflect your outer environment? And I'm trying to think of how to put this in words in which that people could relate to or understand my conclusion to this question. I came up with this because I was watching a stream on, oh, it doesn't matter who, but they were speaking of when you become more conscious, your clothing change and you're more covered up and things of that nature and sort. So I start to thinking about that perception, and I was like, well, I used to have a perception about someone who wasn't covered up, and preferably, well, specifically women. When they weren't covered up, I felt like they were seeking attention, that they were promiscuous, and I had all these assumptions about them, not even knowing them. And I feel like as I grew in consciousness, became more aware of self and started questioning my beliefs, started questioning how I thought and where did those thoughts come from? Did it come from a certain paradigm, something that was controlled, meaning like given to me, or was this an inception of my own or someone else's? And so far I've come to the conclusion that consciousness is an ongoing process, and for me to conclude that the higher you get in consciousness, the more covered up you are, it's like me not evolving. Because really, what is clothing? Clothing is just an expression of you, right? Not even all of you, just a portion of you, and it was created through another person, another man or woman, So for me to say that you are more conscious because you're covered up is not accurate anymore. And this is my analysis on it, because as you grow in consciousness, you become more self-aware of you and what you're doing, your goals, your projections, your thoughts. You want to know if these thoughts are yours, or these thoughts were taught to you through social media, through family, through friends. This society is built on what we call, I guess, paradigms. Because I was watching Bob Proctor, and on a lot of his videos on paradigms, he was saying how paradigms are repetitious. That's where the inception comes from, and they become habits, and then they become your beliefs. So how do you know what is your belief and what is not your belief? Because if you think about, a child comes into this world with no kind of perceptions that I can remember as a child, as a baby coming into this lifetime. I don't remember having any perceptions. Everything was taught to me. So if everything is taught, I mean everything from religion to clothing to how I talk to how I perceive myself to my language to my food, if everything is taught, then what is instinctively yours? And I don't know if a lot of people come to this realization that when you become more and more awake and knowing of self, and that's what consciousness is. It's not you becoming more judgmental towards other people's consciousness level. Consciousness is you becoming more aware of who you are and what your thoughts are, and where do they birth, where do they derive from, and then when you start questioning those things, you don't look at other people's evolution in comparison. In a comparison, you just kind of observe. You don't judge, you know. So to get back to my point, I hope I'm not going too far off the point on this video, because it's all about consciousness, and does it affect the way you dress, and specifically with women. I think there's just, like I said, there's different levels of consciousness. So depending on, I think, how you feel, your perception, your conscious level, it's not determined by the clothes. Like I said, the clothes are just an expression, you know, but it's not the overall projection of you. And I know most people look at that and say, well, when we see you and you're wearing a certain clothing, that's our perception. But that's your perception. That perception, someone else made that synonymous with promiscuity, you know, and made it synonymous with being loose, or, you know, we can go on and on with the adjectives. So I feel like now, with my level of consciousness, I don't look at other women like that when they are not wearing as much clothing. The first thought that comes to mind now is, wow, they are very confident. And it's nothing wrong with being confident. I think we need more confident women. And I believe that we should not say that as a woman or a man gets more conscious, that they're going to wear more or less clothing. Because consciousness is not even about clothing, really. Consciousness is about knowing and realizing who you are. Like when they say, know thyself. Okay? So I hope that helped. I don't want to make it too long. If I have to, I'll make a part 2. Let me know what you think about consciousness and what you are wearing. Do you feel like it's an expression? Do you feel like you should cover up? Because if you think about it, there's different religions, nationalities, and things of that nature where clothing is not, you know, something perceived as something. Wearing less clothing is not perceived as the things that we have in our minds in Western America. Alright, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I look forward to having a great, intelligent, enlightening, loving conversation with you. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Love you.
Let me rap to you real quick. I want to enjoy the luxury of like not knowing each other for real.